Her lipstick was smudged, her heels mismatched, and her underwear was gone. It was just coffee, the cheating slut said, like I couldn't smell his cologne on her neck. My stomach turned, but I smiled. She had no idea what I'd already done. I smelled him before I saw her. The front door clicked shut at 9:42 p.m. She was late. Not work late, not the kind of late where she came in apologizing, dropping her heels, and muttering about deadlines. This was performance late. She walked in slow, like she'd rehearsed the timing. Like she needed it to look just right. Ashley. 32. Marketing manager. Smile like a shampoo commercial, mind like a spreadsheet. She played the domestic role with polish, meal prepping in glass containers, cleaning counters with peppermint spray, lighting candles she called mood setters. But tonight, the scent wasn't peppermint. It was musk. Not hers. Not mine. She didn't look surprised to see me on the couch. Just paused, half a second too long, before the mask slid on. "Hey babe," she said, voice honeyed with just enough fatigue to sell the script. "Sorry I'm late." Coffee with Lauren ran long. Lauren. The invisible best friend. My internal audit was instant, no text from Lauren all day. No stories tagged. No breadcrumb trail. Just a name Ashley liked to toss like a smoke grenade. She walked past me. Tight black skirt, silk blouse, blazer draped over one arm. Normal, if you weren't looking close. But I was. And I noticed. No bra under that blouse. And when she turned the corner into the hallway, her skirt rode up just enough for me to see, no panty lines. My chest stayed still, but my stomach coiled. In the kitchen, she opened the fridge and stared, too long, like it was supposed to fill the silence. I didn't move. I just watched. Her every motion was clean, curated, unreal. She poured herself a glass of water, took one sip, then dumped the rest out. "God, I'm wiped," she said, stretching. "You eat yet?" "Yeah," I said. Flat. Measured. She nodded like that was normal and started up the stairs. And I noticed something else, no purse. No phone. She came back down 5 minutes later in a hoodie and leggings. Casual reset. Fresh perfume, too. Lavender this time. Layering it over the last man's scent. I let it sit. I needed the gap, the silence between notes, to catalog every inconsistency. When she finally sat across from me on the couch, I could see it again, the tiniest smear of lipstick in the corner of her mouth. Wrong shade. She hadn't worn that brand in months. She leaned in and kissed me. Just a press. Lips to cheek. Her breath was minty, but too minty. Fresh gum layered over cheap wine. She smiled. I didn't return it. "I missed you," she said. I didn't answer. Just turned back to the TV, let her sit there in the quiet. I wasn't ready to break anything yet. Just take inventory. She pulled out her phone then, finally, and started scrolling. Too fast, no typing. Just reflex swiping. No messages sent. I checked the reflection in the darkened TV screen. She wasn't in her texts. She was deep in her photos. Deleting. I noted that, too. Outside, the neighbor's dog barked once. A car door slammed. She flinched. Then caught herself. And smiled again. "Mark," she said softly. "You okay?" I turned to her. Held her gaze for 2 seconds too long. "Yeah," I said. "Just tired." And I was. Tired of being played. Tired of her theater. Tired of pretending I didn't already know what she was. This wasn't the beginning of a problem. It was the end of pretending there wasn't one. And that bitch had no idea the first move was already hers, and she'd made it in heels that didn't match. 3 days later, she wore white to brunch. Ashley never wore white unless she was making a point. It was her clean slate uniform, crisp blouse, delicate gold earrings, that faux innocent smile she practiced in bathroom mirrors. She left a faint trail of vanilla and citrus behind her, like she was trying to erase the nights before. "I might meet up with Lauren again after," she said casually, buttering her toast with clinical precision. She's been going through it lately. Lauren again. Always just vague enough not to question, always just personal enough to shut me up. A convenient ghost. I watched her wrist as she spoke, the slight redness where her watch had clearly been removed, hastily, not long ago. Skin still marked. Not from work. From undressing in a hurry. You should go, I said. She's lucky to have you. Ashley smiled. That kind of smile people give when they think they're winning. Later that evening, while she was in the shower, I walked into her home office. It smelled like sandalwood and new paper. Nothing out of place, at first. Laptop was locked, drawers neat. But I wasn't looking for clutter. I was looking for patterns. In the waste bin, one crumpled receipt from a place we never go. Cove Lounge. 2 cocktails. 1 appetizer. Timestamp, Friday night. 8:51 p.m. She told me she was stuck at the office till after 9. The receipt smelled faintly like her perfume. Upstairs, the water turned off. I slipped out silently. That night, she came to bed with wet hair and no words. Curled against me like we were still safe. Like her sins hadn't already started to stain the sheets. I didn't sleep. Just listened to her breathing slow and settle. Studied her back like a stranger's, a terrain I used to know. I remembered every mole, every scar, and every lie she ever told me about both. In the morning, she left her phone on the kitchen counter, screen face down. She never did that. While she was brushing her teeth, I flipped it. Passcode changed. That was the first real move. I didn't show anything. Just set it back, screen side down, like it had never been touched. Want anything from the store later? She asked, wiping her mouth with a towel, tone breezy. Surprise me. She laughed, real, light, and kissed my neck. I let her. Let the bitch think the walls were still up around her, not closing in. That afternoon, I called Lauren. From a burner. Blocked number. She answered on the 3rd ring. Hello. I said nothing. Just listened. Hello. Her voice cracked, nervous. She hung up. Lauren was in it. Maybe not the way Ashley said, but deep enough to panic. Back at home, Ashley came in an hour later than usual. Smiling again. Too bright. Eyes too wide. I brought your favorite, she said, holding up takeout from that Thai place I liked. She set the food down and moved behind me, arms snaking around my waist like we were in a goddamn commercial. You've been so quiet lately, she whispered. Everything okay? Everything's perfect, I said. And that wasn't a lie. Because perfect is what it looks like right before it breaks. And I was ready for the fall. Ashley started humming again. She only did that when she thought things were stable. Soft, tuneless little threads of noise drifting around the house like perfume. Harmless, unless you knew her tells. I did. That fake little tune meant she thought the lie had landed. That I'd bought it. That her Lauren fiction had cemented, and I was back in the dark where she wanted me. But I wasn't. She wore a new necklace on Wednesday, thin, silver, with a tiny black stone I hadn't seen before. I didn't comment. Just watched her fingers fidget with it all morning like it meant more than decoration. During breakfast, she said, I booked us a couple's massage. Saturday. That's how she handled guilt. With fake generosity. Small bribes wrapped in smiles. When she cheats, she gives. You okay? She asked, after I didn't respond right away. I'm great, I said, sipping my coffee. Looking forward to it. She brightened. Overcompensated. Leaned in, kissed my cheek again. Always the cheek now, not the mouth. Like she knew it was wrong to bring someone else's residue near mine. That night, I checked our shared calendar. The massage wasn't on it. Of course it wasn't. I scrolled back. Dates she'd been working late, Thursday, Friday, 2 Mondays. Every one of them lined up with Lyft charges on our shared card. Not to the office. To places I'd never been. Apartments I didn't recognize. No Lauren. No work. Just addresses and silence. I started keeping my own log. Times, places, outfits. Her perfume choices. Her mood swings. Her subtle resets. She wore guilt like foundation, always a little too thick if you looked close. Then came the night she told me she was seeing a therapist. She said it like a confession, soft-voiced and sheepish. Just to work through some stuff, you know. Internal things. I nodded. Asked no questions. Let her have the moment. But I checked her phone later, while she showered. Facial recognition was still enabled. No therapist in her call log. But there was a thread with a saved contact named Megan, Yoga. Ashley doesn't do yoga. The messages were scrubbed, all except the first one. Saw your pic from last night. You too looked. You too. I stared at those words for a long time. Whoever Megan was, she'd seen something. And Ashley hadn't deleted that by accident. It was a slip, or a challenge. I copied the number. Texted it from another burner. Hey, this is Mark. Just wondering what you meant by, you too. No response. The next day, Megan's number was disconnected. Ashley made chili for dinner. A full batch, something she only did when she wanted praise. I didn't give it. Just said, smells good, and watched her deflate a little when that's all I offered. She fiddled with her necklace again. Then dropped this. Do you still trust me? I looked at her, stone still. Do you want the real answer, or the one that keeps dinner pleasant? She didn't blink. Just stared, mouth parted, like I'd slapped her with words. And in that moment, something in her cracked. Not fully, just enough for me to see the edge. She reached across the table, touched my hand. I love you, Mark. I don't know what's been going on with us lately, but I want to fix it. I nodded. Slow. Measured. Me too. But the thing is, I wasn't trying to fix anything. I was building something. Piece by piece. A structure that would fall right on top of her. And by the time she realized it, I'd already be outside, watching it burn. Friday night, she wore red. Ashley didn't own much red, she always said it made her look too aggressive. But this dress was new. Tight. High slit. Paired with black heels and a lipstick she hadn't worn since our anniversary 2 years ago. I didn't say a word about it. She spun once in front of the mirror like she wasn't performing. How do I look? She asked. I let my eyes trace the curve of her shoulder, the dip of her waist. Dangerous, I said. She laughed, forced, tight. Like part of her wasn't sure if I meant it as a compliment or a warning. I'm meeting Lauren, she said again, like it was still believable. Right. She's been going through it, she added, grabbing a clutch. So you keep saying. Ashley froze for half a beat. Then she smiled. The kind of smile people wear when they've been accused but can't afford to react. I watched her walk to the door. Watched the lie sway in her hips. The second she was gone, I opened the drawer in her vanity. The one she didn't know I knew had a false bottom. Inside, a second phone. Not a burner, a full-on second life. Different case, different lock code. Took me 9 tries. Got it on the 10th. Her birthday, backward. It was all there. Photos. Not pornographic, worse. Intimate. Candid shots. Him kissing her neck. Her asleep on someone else's chest. Inside jokes in caption form. And names. Not Lauren. Not Megan. Brent. And there he was. A middle manager from her old job. Beige and forgettable. I remembered him vaguely from a holiday party 3 years ago, shaking my hand with sweaty palms and averted eyes. He'd been around the whole time. I didn't rage. I didn't throw anything. I backed up every message. Every image. I airdropped them to a private folder on my own phone, then deleted my trail. Ashley came back 2 hours later, cheeks flushed, perfume fresh. Not the kind she left with. The sex musk variety, layered over sweat and guilt. Her heels were scuffed. Her lips, slightly smeared. She didn't come to kiss me. Just went straight to the bathroom. I followed, slow, quiet. Pressed my ear to the door. She was humming again. I went back downstairs and pulled up the real estate site I'd bookmarked. I'd been scouting for weeks. 1-bedroom rentals. Short-term leases. Places I could vanish to without notice. I wouldn't confront her yet. That wasn't the game. I needed her to invest. To believe she was still winning. The deeper the lie, the sweeter the collapse. The next morning, she made pancakes, her peace offering breakfast. Dressed down, no makeup. Hair tied, sleeves rolled. Playing the domestic saint. "You've been distant lately," she said, sliding the plate toward me. "Work's been heavy," I lied. She reached for my hand. Held it. Her thumb stroked mine like a plea. "I don't want us to drift." "Then stop lying." She flinched, but only for a moment. "Lying about what?" I let her sit in it. She waited. Swallowed. Adjusted. Reset. "Babe," she said gently, "I think you're projecting something onto me that." I stood up. Left the pancakes untouched. "You don't get to turn this into therapy speak, Ash." Her mouth opened, then shut. Her fingers twitched toward her coffee mug, then pulled back. Like she knew any movement might expose more. I walked out the door without another word. And that was when I knew the bitch had no idea I wasn't trying to win the argument. I was building the stage for her final scene. The trick with liars is, they forget digital shadows. Ashley was meticulous in person, curated, filtered. But her laptop. That was different. She used it like no one was watching. And for weeks, I hadn't touched it. Just waited. Let the pattern settle, let her feel safe. Monday night, she left it open on the couch. I waited until she went to bed, wine in her system, asleep fast and shallow. Then I slipped the machine into my lap and opened it. No password. She trusted her own home too much. I didn't go to the obvious folders. No one puts an affair in a folder marked affair. But her downloads folder told the story anyway. Screenshots. 3 of them. One was a picture of a hotel reservation, downtown Lux Suites, 2 nights, 1 king bed. For her and Brent. Booked under her maiden name. Another was a Venmo receipt, $250 to Brent, labeled, "For the weekend, you spoil me." The third was what got me. A photo of her in front of a mirror, not naked, not explicit, just open. Hair wet, skin glowing, wearing the same silver necklace she fiddled with at breakfast. It was taken in our guest bathroom. The caption. "Wearing this when I lie to him tonight." I stared at that sentence until it meant nothing. I didn't shake. Didn't blink. Just saved all 3 files onto a thumb drive I'd stashed weeks ago. Titled the folder Insurance. Then I found the email account. A secret Gmail she hadn't scrubbed. All lowercase, her middle name and birth year. Buried in her Chrome autofill. Inside, correspondence with Brent going back almost a year. Plans. Code phrases. Emotional confessions. Talk of escaping the routine. Talk of me. He's just there. Not cruel. Not exciting. I feel like I'm rusting. Rusting. That word stuck. Like I was some metal fence she used to lean on, until the rain got in. She'd shared photos of me with him. Candid shots. Me in the yard mowing the lawn. Me asleep on the couch. Me smiling while grilling. He replied. He looks soft. That was the moment my silence calcified. No more surveillance. No more waiting for signs. It was time to build the endgame. That week, I met with a lawyer, a quiet, meticulous woman named Jill who handled high-asset divorces with surgical efficiency. I laid it all out. No theatrics. Just the facts. The receipts, the photos, the second phone. Do not confront her yet, Jill said. Let her walk deeper into the trap. I nodded. I moved the joint accounts. Legally. Shifted funds to a private savings under my name. I'd paid for nearly everything in the marriage. The house was mine. I proved it. Paper trails don't lie, only people do. Then I opened a storage unit and began transferring anything sentimental, my father's tools, family photos, my personal documents. She didn't notice. Why would she? The bitch was too busy planning weekend getaways and texting Brent under pseudonyms like Megan. I even made contact with a realtor, under my cousin's name. Inquired about selling the house discreetly, just to see what the market looked like. And through it all, Ashley kept playing the wife. She left notes in my jacket pocket. I miss us. She brought home wine. She ran baths. She said things like, "You've been so strong lately." I love that. I watched her pour my drink one night and wondered how many times she'd rehearsed this version of herself in hotel mirrors. How many versions of Ashley she kept on hand. Because the woman in front of me, laughing at some sitcom, cuddled against my chest, wasn't real. She was a shell. And Brent didn't know it yet, but he'd inherited a snake. The only thing left was to decide how to let them both choke on the bite. She got careless. It was a Thursday afternoon when the notification popped up, right on her smartwatch. I was across from her at the kitchen table, supposedly writing up budgets while she sorted emails on her tablet. Her watch buzzed. She glanced, flinched, then tilted her wrist slightly away. But I saw it. "You still smell like me, B." I didn't move. Didn't blink. Just sat there, listening to her overcompensate with small talk about grocery deals and neighbor gossip, her voice too chirpy, her legs crossed too tight. Later that night, she went to yoga. I waited until the garage door closed, then walked into her office. This time, I didn't just snoop. I took. The second phone, hidden behind a stack of old tax files, came with me. I powered it on, turned off Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, and linked it directly to a private sync account I created. Every text. Every image. Every app activity. I pulled it all. Then I found the voice memos. Not from her. From him. Brent had sent her voicemails. Full of whispering filth and fragile little ego boosts. One of them made my hands clench involuntarily. "I can still taste you, Ash. Don't lie to him tonight. Come back and stay. Not see you. Not text me. Stay." That meant he wasn't just a fling. He thought she was halfway out. Thought she'd built a door. And maybe she had. But I'd sealed every exit behind her. That weekend, I planted a silent surveillance tool on her car. Small, magnetic, discreet. Linked to an app on my phone. I needed locations. Patterns. Proof of overlap. By Monday, I had them. Thursday nights, his apartment. Sunday mornings, hotel by the interstate. 2 lunch breaks a week, wellness walks that ended in parking garages. I traced them all. Marked the routes. Collected timestamps. Synced them with call records. It all matched. But the proof wasn't the prize. It was the setup. I started booking things in her name. A couples therapy consultation with a family specialist, logged on our joint calendar. I never planned to show. Just wanted her panicked. An invitation sent to Brent's work email, from an anonymous account, congratulating him on his upcoming engagement to Ashley. With a photo attached. One of the ones from her phone. Her in our guest bathroom, necklace on, smirking. I watched her read it. From the hallway. Her face went white. That night, she barely spoke. Just curled into bed without a word, phone clenched in her hand like a lifeline. I could see the ripple of thoughts in her posture, doubt, fear, the looming realization that her sealed world wasn't sealed at all. I gave her nothing. Just steady, hollow normalcy. And then came the final step. I sent a package to Brent's apartment. Certified mail. Signature required. Inside, every printed photo, every receipt, every voice memo transcribed. No return address. Just one line typed across the first page. You can have her. She's already yours. The cost. Everything else. No threats. No theatrics. Just the truth. Delivered with precision. Ashley had no clue it was coming. She made us breakfast the next morning, waffles. The same ones we had on our honeymoon. I was thinking we could go somewhere soon, she said, fake hopeful. Recenter. Sure, I said, eyes locked on hers. Let's make it a trip to remember. And she smiled, relieved. Like the floor wasn't already giving out beneath her feet. Ashley came home to candles. Soft lighting. Music low. A carefully set table. Filet, her favorite wine, the scent of rosemary chicken warming the air. She stopped in the doorway, confused, caught between guilt and excitement. What's all this? She asked, fake laughing, that tilted head charm she used to deflect discomfort. Celebration, I said, pouring wine. You'll see. She hesitated. I watched her fingers twitch toward her phone, then stepped in. Set her purse down. Kissed my cheek. She'd been with him, I knew. But tonight, she played the wife again. Her dress was safe, lips perfectly done, scent scrubbed neutral. She had no idea it was a funeral. I let her eat first. Let the food settle. Watched her relax, watched the lies settle like dust in candlelight. Then I handed her the envelope. Heavy. Cream-colored. No markings. Sealed. She paused, wine glass midair. What's this? Open it. Her hands trembled slightly. She broke the seal and pulled out the papers. First, the photos, printed high-res. Her in Brent's bed. Her in our bathroom. The hotel receipts. The text transcripts. The voice memo transcriptions. All clipped in order. Labeled. Then the legal documents. Divorce papers. Complete. Filed. Her hands stilled. I leaned back. Said nothing. She flipped through the pages like she could stop them by scanning faster. I can explain. No, I said. Come. I wanted every word to land like a blade. You can't. And you won't. Mark. I stood. Slid my phone across the table. The screen glowed with a video. Brent, standing in front of his apartment, holding the certified envelope. Talking. Arguing with someone out of frame. His girlfriend, probably. The fallout had already started. Ashley didn't touch the phone. Does Brent know you told me he was just a temporary mistake? That you were only using him to feel something again? I said, quoting her own words from the synced texts. Because I sent him that, too. Her mouth opened. Nothing came out. I sent it to his HR department. With time-stamped photos of his visits during work hours. Oh, and that emotional leave he took last month. I matched it to your hotel receipt. The color drained from her face. You said he made you feel alive, I continued, voice cold. Let's see how he feels after HR drags him through internal investigation. She reached for me, instinctively, stupidly, and I stepped back. Don't, I said. Quiet. Final. You, Mark, please. This isn't you. You're not like this. You don't know me, I said. You knew the men who paid your half of everything. Who believed your lies? That man died when I saw you come home without your underwear and call it coffee. Tears welled up, perfectly on cue. She tried the wounded look. The regret. The tremble. But none of it landed. Not this time. I didn't want this, she whispered. Neither did I. She stood. Clutched the divorce packet like it might dissolve. What am I supposed to do now? You're supposed to leave. When? I stepped to the hallway, pulled out a duffel bag I'd packed with her essentials. ID, some clothes, the second phone she thought I hadn't found. Tonight. You can't just. I can. The deed's in my name. I've already frozen the joint account. Your access ends at midnight. Silence. Then, finally, she spoke honestly. You really set me up. I looked her dead in the eye. No. You set yourself up. I just lit the stage. She didn't speak again. She walked out, slowly, carrying the bag, face pale, eyes hollow. I shut the door behind her. Quiet. Clean. The house didn't feel lighter. It didn't feel like victory. It felt like truth. And that was enough. Ashley tried calling the next morning. 7 times. I let them all ring out. No voicemail. No texts returned. I wanted her to sit in the silence, to feel the weight of everything she could no longer control. The stage was dark now, and the audience was gone. All she had left was echo. By noon, Brent called. New number, but I recognized the area code. I answered. Silence. Then breathing. Then. What the fuck did you send me, man? I didn't respond. He continued, angrier now. This is harassment. I'm filing. You're free to try, I said. HR already has the documents. Your girlfriend too, she was CC'd. A beat. Then the sound of something breaking on his end, maybe a glass, maybe his self-image. I don't even know her like that, man. It wasn't, she told me you two were over. They all say that, I said. But you knew. You smiled at me that night at the Christmas party. Shook my hand. Then went home and fucked my wife. He didn't reply. I hung up. Later that week, I stopped by Ashley's office. Unannounced. Not to see her, she didn't work there anymore. HR had quietly let her go by mutual decision. But I wanted to see the space. The people. Her little throne of curated competence. Her desk had already been reassigned. Her name erased from the directory. I left a copy of the divorce packet with the receptionist. Finalized. No response needed. By Friday, the social circles started breaking. Our mutual friends, the couples, the co-workers, had seen the blast. Not from me. I never posted anything. But things leak. Screenshots move. Someone had forwarded the voice memo transcriptions to a group chat. Brent's dirty whisper had gone viral in one tight social circle. Ashley's college roommate texted me. I'm so sorry. I always wondered about her. You didn't deserve that. I didn't reply. Didn't need to. Because that was the final step, her world falling in. Not from rage. From exposure. Meanwhile, I filed a restraining order. Not because she threatened me, she hadn't. But because the second time she showed up at the house, pounding on the door, sobbing in the rain, begging to just talk, I saw it. She still thought there was a version of this where I forgave her. A version where we rebuilt. She didn't understand that the moment she came home without underwear and called it coffee, the moment she smirked in our guest bathroom and wrote a caption about deceiving me, that was the point of no return. So I got the restraining order. Had it served at her sister's house. At dinner. Family present. Her father called me that night. I don't agree with how she handled things, he said, cautiously. But do you really think she deserved this? She deserves worse, I said. But this will do. And I meant it. I didn't want blood. I wanted silence. Distance. I wanted every lie to echo inside her until she forgot what the truth ever felt like. I signed the final paperwork the next morning. A courier took it directly to her temporary apartment, the one Brent abandoned after HR suspended him. She was alone now. Her messages had slowed. Gone from bargaining, to blame, to silence. That silence. That was mine. It was the sound of a door closing so quietly it didn't even echo. Just, sealed. The divorce finalized 2 weeks later. No court drama. No drawn-out depositions. Just a sterile email from my attorney confirming everything was signed, sealed, and out of my hands. No alimony. No split assets. She got her clothes, her car, and a locked-out existence. I got the house. The silence. And control. Ashley never fought it. Not after the exposure. Not after Brent disappeared and her job dissolved under her. The friends she hadn't already alienated drifted off, quietly choosing neutrality, or me. I didn't throw a party. I didn't drink. I went to the hardware store. Bought new locks. Changed every single one that night. By hand. No noise, no announcement. The next day, I had the house deep cleaned. Not out of spite. Just to reclaim the space. Her scent was still in the linens, her hair in the drain. Little ghost traces of a woman who'd practiced being someone else so thoroughly, she forgot who she used to be. I boxed the leftover things she hadn't asked for, books, a pair of earrings, 2 scarves. Dropped them off at her sister's porch. Didn't ring. Didn't leave a note. This wasn't closure. It was disposal. Her final text came 2 nights later. I just want to understand how we got here. I stared at it for a full minute. Then deleted it. Not blocked, not replied. Just erased. She didn't get to understand. Understanding is for the people who don't build entire lives on secrets and then cry when the curtain falls. Brent. Last I heard, he moved back to his hometown. Quietly. Fired for breach of conduct. Relationship over. Probably still spinning it as a mistake he didn't see coming. He never reached out again. And I didn't need him to. The damage wasn't the point. The silence afterward was. That house. It's mine now. Fully. And it's quiet. Not empty, quiet. There's a difference. I wake up alone, but not confused. I cook for one. I sleep without wondering if the person beside me is texting someone else while I snore. There's no war under the smiles. No lipstick on wine glasses that smells unfamiliar. No gaslighting over dinner, no fake therapy speak to shut down confrontation. It's just me. The walls. The air. I don't look at photos. I don't revisit files. I keep the flash drive in a drawer, not as proof, but as a tombstone. A small marker of who she was, and who I was dumb enough to believe in. People say revenge is loud. They're wrong. Real revenge is silence. It's when they look back and realize you didn't just leave, you erased the part of your life they poisoned. And now, no matter what they do, they're locked out. Forever. Without a word.